here we go. Now, where we got to the last time is on page Tuf Reshut Zion. Yeah. And now we're going to see the lesson. And it's over on the beginning of the second column, of the beginning of the second paragraph. It says, Al bir hagrua. So this is a what would you say? It's the direction of the thinking of the lesson. Bir kan v'zel l'shono kimar yud gimel tikuni dikna hine misham hu kol hamnisim aniglim. And once again, we're talking really about one word. We're talking about the word mahamunasa. So now we're getting into different kinds of ideas of who thinking what this amoona is. So he says, what is this? He says, the nisim niglim, what are revealed miracles. I'll call her Torah because the miracles show really they testify of the faith of the whole Torah. Kulu kamashakas of a Ramban, self Parshas Bo. Because of what? Because that's where the nigla comes from, which really produces amoona. Is that what he's saying? I'm not sure. V'shum shagam hanisim nistarim. So also because of the fact that the nisim themselves are hidden, nistarim heim. Gam came edus v'amuna also. So since the nisim are hidden, also the edus and the amuna are also hidden, I guess. El shechan niglim heim mefarsimim b'yosech b'vivichim b'muna gam b'lev ha'rishoyim. So he says, so now he goes like this. That's the nature of hidden miracles. Hidden miracles don't produce faith. He says, on the other hand, that the niglim, mefarsim, and they publicize and bring the amoona also into the heart of the evil. So it's called the faith of faith. Now, I think it's him it's this one. I'm not sure. They want to say that this is a verb. We also have that pasuk over there. It's called the amoona Yisrael. Mishum shehi pasach hashar lahoyer lahaor the ainsa, because what it is he's saying that the word amoona Yisrael. He says is the Pesach, is the opening, the gate, or the Ein Sof of the light of the Ein Sof of Miyached B'Chatzilus that really joins together and makes unity in all of its Tzilus. Now he says that's the word Amunah. Asher B'Sham Chuchan Nisim Aniglim Kanisker, because that from this place what is where the niglim for the beard, where the revealed Nisim come from. Now, we do have something here on number tes. Number tes, let's see if I could get it on my screen. Okay, it's not as low as it could be. Sifra Sefer HaKlalim. So he says in his Sefer, the Sefer HaKlalim. He says bir bezera loshon. He says atzilus hu nikra menusa. He says that is what atzilus is. Ki sham hu giluya yisbarach b'Hashem havaya, because that is the place where the revelation of the name Yudke Vavke appears. Baruch Hu. B'kol Hashemos agadoshim. So this is the one that and he says amidst all of the other holy names. Because all of them really refer to the revelation or Hashem showing himself, so to speak. Where he starts making through that name all the different details of reality. And also the way that the creations, I guess the Metzios, Kulu come out, Asher B'Klal L'Prat, all of their movements, all of how they work. And it says like that, according to my deeds, Ani Nikra, that's how it'll be called, Kenoidim. Because so all of this idea that Hashem is behind all of these things is the amoona of the Jew, Shuhu Yisbarach Shemocha Mahavach V'ches Hakol. This is our thought. He makes it all happen, Hakol, a Mekayim, a Manhig as a Kol, and so he keeps and he leads everything. Below, not only that, Alaki Kol Ratzilus Kula Shuhu Gilur Shemosach, all of Atzilus, which is, once again, he wants to say, what's the quality of Atzilus? It says the place of the Gilur of Shemosach. This is his point. He says it really, all of that unity that we get out of Olam Atzilus really depends on the amoona of the Jews. This is what our belief. He ma'amidim as geluya v'chashach. What he does is he establishes, fixes the geluya v'chashach b'Atzilus. Miskayim u'misnagim b'hem. Now let's read a little bit more, because of Ratzon Lomer, he says Ratzon Lomer means to say ba'osam hagiluyim, from these in I guess in these revealed miracles. Called Olamos Bia, so he says out of this, that doesn't mean, I put the word miracles in it. He means the revelation of the names, I think. Called Olamos Bia Mitziyusam, but because his Haluchos Chosechem Hagosam, all of the way that they work and all the way they move. But that's all that comes out because of our belief in him. We cause it. This is what I thought was the verbal part of it. Amoona chas v'shalom choya choizrim kol geluyim. All of the geluyim would go back l'makorim to the root. V'l'amalsam shebe'ein sof v'l'amalsam, and their hiddenness in the Ein Sof Baruch Hu. So, in other words, our pulling down, we pull it down. And then what would happen is that Tzilus would go back. What is it, Tzilus, he says? Tzilus is the Gilui of Elokusi Yisbarach. This is where he shows himself, Kavayachal the Shorsha. This would immediately, if he pulled out, immediately nullify all extensions down to where we are. Because if it was never revealed, then it wouldn't be revealed. There would be nothing to be revealed. So he said, the brain of his Sefer Hadoya, I guess, Chelik Beis. He says, let's go on. V'chein b'Sefer HaKadosh, I guess he means in the Eitz Chaim. V'alkol ponim, so in any case, it is this. He called Geluyev Yisbarach Shemoshe, who klalos called the Chatzilus, which incorporates all of Atzilus. Who tolei v'omer b'chamundas Yisrael. It all depends on who we are, our faith. As if we want to reach him, he reveals himself. V'lechein nikra Chatzilus roza de mechamanusa. So therefore, Atzilus is called the secret of making faith, of the power of faith. He's so called because the secret of all the faith of the Jewish people, Yisbarach Shemon, he says, it's our faith that makes it all possible. All of this really comes from that part, as our faith causes the Giluyin of Atzilus, So that was that, and we're in a different place now. Let me get a drink here. We're in a little dry. We have, a couple of minutes. Okay, good. So, Rabbi Itchy Morgenstern is talking about the Panemius is the only way. He's talking about the Erev Rav, meaning, you saw that? Oh, you get him too. I don't know. I find him getting to the point. I'm not sure that I'm a Sat Mechusid, but we've sort of been around him a lot. Okay, Biurim hanosafim bedikna de mechamanusa. So now we're going to get into some other Biurim. V'yesh nacha Biurim nosafim be'inin dikna mechamanusa. V'chein echad, so they're one. The first one, Beferish Maurice Rook. Why not the Maurice Rook? Kan Bir the Manusa. What is a Hainu Emes? He said the word Manusa means Emes. Now, so since we went over to that one there, we made it into a verb from the Leshem. So we're coming over here and we're going differently. He says, Amba Bakan Iri Hiritzach Lefidarko. Bedikta shall Resha de lo Isyada. So now, where are we here? We're in Atik. We're in the part of Atik that we don't understand, which is called the Rosh of Atik, which is the Resha de lo Isyada. Now, I don't know where this came from, so maybe I got Resha de lo Isyada wrong. So, but at any rate, I'll just read what he says again. It says, Shorsha, that the root of this emes, which comes from the Resha lo Isyada, comes from the Ferish Bedas. I guess he means the das of the Resha lo Isyada, because we know about the zat of the Resha lo Isyada of Atek. So he says Bedas and Nikra emes, because that das is called emes. So I understand emes was emes Yaakov like that. So this is the language that he uses here for the fi sheikar al zakan hu hayud gimel tikun shabo. So therefore it's just called a dikna, beard. The nikra zakan zeh shall reisha de lo isyada menusa. Now let's read this again and try to figure out what he's saying. He said, "Go to v'lafi sheikar al zakan hu hayud gimel tikunim shabo." Okay, so this is the channeling of light. So therefore, in that sense, I don't know. He means it just. This is just dikna. But when you come to the zakan of the Reshel Yisyada, it's called Melamanusa. Because it comes out at the Teferes, assuming that Das is 10 spheros. And that we're looking at in the fi shenoided machatferes, that's the middle line of the das shall reshel lo isyadazu. Now you're really far out here. So I'll read it a third time just for kicks, and just let's see what it says. It's here. Where I start? He says, "Olafi she'igrach hazakan hu ayud gimel tikunim sheba." But the Sechah v'nikra ayud gimel tikuna b'shem dikna b'stam. I guess it just means dikna. So he says that's where the tikuna dikna are talking about. V'nikra chazakan Sechah shal reisha lo yisida. When we go over to that reisha, he said menusa. That's called menusa. Why? The visha noided ma'teferish b'das. The Devera said one of the middle line of the middle line, which is das. Shall Reshelo Isyada, which is the origin of all of this stuff, this zoo. But Teferes Nikra Emes, another name for Teferes is Emes. So he's saying like this, it's at the core of everything. When you go even up to the place, so he's talking about the das of the Reshelo Isyada. Is it possible to say that? He says that in that place, it's called, that is the origin of Emes. Because Malcolm, Emes is the middle line. Emes will be called Makam Kanoida. So every place you see that, of course, you know that Teferes is in our place, but he says here you talk about the Resha do Isyada. Dechsev Atita and Emes the Yaakov. That's what it says Adkan. So he says V'Dvarim Elu Muvu'anrach B'Kitzer B'Zar Rakia B'Shem V'Perish Maris Srok. No, that's Ari. He says Azilcha Ayin Sham. That's in the Ari. Now number Yud Aleph. We could look at that. I don't know. We're running out of time. We're out of time, but we can look at it real quickly, or some of it. It's really site references. And the Limudei Hatzilus Ad Kan. So these places are places where this is talked about. So now let's look at, I couldn't find L'chora Emes, so number Yud says L'chora. As a Emes, V'amuna, Heim Beis and Yonim. Now he says this idea. He says there are two different inyanim. He says shonim. He says ulam rei bezoris to look over there. V'zadash of a gedin ikre amuna v'lis amuna below emes. So the emes and amuna seem to go together. That's what he wants to say. Number Yud Aleph, which went on the phrase b'shem perish Marie. That's the Ari. So now he says like this. So Roi Litzayim Ki Bezo Rakia Al Pirka Din Yadach the Sifra that's new. So it's just saying where he's getting this just. Huva B'Sham Perushim, but there's B'Shem Pirush Risha. There's Shnei Perushim, 2 Perushim. He says B'Shem Pirush Echad Mahari. So one of them comes in the Ari Zilcha. Upirish Beis also comes from the Ari Zilcha. B'Shecha Perushim Bo Mu'ravim Yachad, and we say that they're presented like mixed together. Now he doesn't really go through the Pirushim. He says L'dugma is B'daf Koflaman, and he gives the site reference. You go through all of these different places, and you'll see the language. So he said V'achakach, but then he goes to a different place. B'daf Koflamet Bet, Reish Amad Beis. He goes B'milas and Mashakasim the Kirusa. A maskil Pirush Echo. That's where the first Pirush begins. L'Harizal. So going on, the V'achakach B'sofa Amud. He said B'muva Pirush Beis L'Harizal. It's a different one. We could go over there, but just keep moving on. Al Zecha B'derek Ad Sofa Perik, because these are really one site reference, really. After examining this bar along, explain Ki Pirish Rishon L'Rizal, who Pirish Mari Saruk is really the Pirish of Mari Saruk. Ukadumuchach Mamash Huvach Devarim Elo Beksiv Yav Pirish Mari Saruk. And we can see that from what the Risaruk says. So here is the Risaruk. We're just listening to it. Of the Shever Yosef over there, of the Limudei Chatzilus, the Elo Pirish Beit to go to the Arizal, who Ksiv Yad Arizal. It's something the Rizal wrote in or was written in, handwritten in there, Amuva Bishar Mamari Rashbi. Okay, well that's it. Just want to show you that that little piece, and that's all I got to say right now. I think we're out of time, right? Next week is going to be daylight savings, and we're going to have just before, or I don't know what we're going to do. We'll discuss that. Yeah, call to Rabbi.